on it.
Thank you, Minister Chrystia.
Madam Vandenbeld, please.
Thank you, Minister, for being here, and thank you for mentioning in your opening remarks the escalating humanitarian and political crisis in Venezuela. We know that the Maduro regime is increasing its human rights abuses, dismantling of democratic institutions, attacks on opposition members and parties, undermining of the parliament, stacking of the courts, and attacks on civil society. On May 20th, you yourself, as well as many members of the Lima Group, said that the elections there were completely fraudulent. You've downgraded our diplomatic relationship. And last week, Erwin Kotler was here, and he provided the report from the panel of international experts that was created under the OAS Secretary General, which found reasonable grounds that crimes against humanity have occurred: extrajudicial executions, arbitrary detentions, torture, rape, and other forms of sexual violence. I know that you just returned from the OAS, and I know that you are taking a leading role in this, and I was wondering if you could please update the committee on what measures Canada is and will be taking.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Anita. Thank you for your work on the committee. And, you know, like Boris, you're a person who has been committed to these issues for many, many years, and I'm really grateful for that and appreciate your expertise. You're right that the situation in Venezuela has been a particular focus for our government. And again, here I'd like to take this opportunity to share with members of the committee, but also with Canadians more generally, the extent to which Canadian leadership on this issue is very much appreciated throughout our hemisphere. There are only 2 G7 countries in our hemisphere. Canada is one of them. And the fact that Canada is devoting so much focused attention to the situation in Venezuela, the fact that Canada is such an energetic member of the Lima Group, I think means a very great deal to Venezuelans who are suffering a loss of their democratic and human rights. And I think it also is very heartening to our other friends and allies in the hemisphere who see that not only is Canada with them in principle, but that we are really prepared to devote the sweat equity to act on the principles that bring together the members of the Organization of American States. Our meeting on Monday of the OAS, which, as I said, David was there with me, and we're lucky to have him in the department because of his deep expertise in Latin America. I've heard a lot of people praising you, David, for that, so thank you very much. That was an important meeting. It was an opportunity for the members of the Lima Group to speak directly to the Venezuelan government, to the Venezuelan foreign minister, and to make clear our absolute commitment to democracy for the people of Venezuela. I think that having that sort of a direct exchange has a real impact. And again, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank in particular our Caribbean friends, for whom this can be a particularly difficult issue. And they are joining us. We share democratic values with very many of our longtime Canadian friends in the Caribbean, and I would really like to thank those who are joining us in the work of the Lima Group. That's particularly important.
Thank
and
you,
this
Minister.
again, I have to stop talking. I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to cut you off.